Hello YouTube, iFixItAll here, Team iFixItAll. So I couldn't risk another ounce of daylight. I had to get this on video. Sometimes when you weed, excuse the dog in the background, when you weed out things and you run across an obscure weed, you're like, what is that weed? What is this funny weed? And this is a moonflower. This one turned into a seed, just like hibiscus. Interesting. I got to show you this before it gets too dark. Here's hibiscus over here. And Darl, if you're looking at this, clip these pods off, put them in a baggie, and then next spring, create a perimeter along your bank, like where you had your garden, but going uphill. Create a whole line of these things and just bury these. And the rule of thumb is this shouldn't need but just go down a ½ inch. I'd say do that right around March. Just drop them in the ground, maybe February. That way they can experience some cold and go through their natural germination. But this moonflower over here, in with my green peppers and zinnia and sweet taters that I haven't harvested yet, it literally bulbed up the big old soup bowl full of seeds. I'm going to save some of these seeds and plant them, because here's what they turn out to look like. I haven't gotten this moonflower in full bloom yet on video, but in with my corn, there was a moonflower weed, a weed that popped that looked familiar to me from the garden. I'm like, what is this crazy thing? And it's the same kind of weed. But look at what they do. Look like a morning glory. I'm going to save seed. I'm going to get some of those seed. And they really like the dry, arid ground. Feel what that stalk feels like. Oh, it's real soft. I just put my fingernail in it. I hope I don't bleed it to death. Huh. It looks like a softie. Huh. There's one bloom that's open. They only bloom at night. I may turn my light on the phone here and see if I can capture it at night. There's a big old bulb right there. These may or may not be native to Ohio, but Mr. Darl, I'll send you some seed if you want, because I know you really enjoy that hibiscus. Also, Darl, Darl, in lieu of planting seed, just go out there with your shovel this fall and just put your shovel blade right in the middle of that whole root system and create yourself a plus sign, and then take up 2 opposite corners with root balls and replant that somewhere else. You know, you can get 2, just replant them somewhere in like February or March, and they'll sprout up. And that's how they spread. They want to spread out in a circle. Sometimes I have to chisel away at these to get them off of my walkway here, because they used to be growing right up in the walkway, and I had to dissect all my gravel back and chip away the root system to kind of get rid of the roots, and it kind of started to grow that way. But the story behind this hibiscus that I have and the hibiscus you have hibiscus that is a result of me when I was about, I think, about 8 or 9. And I don't know what hit me then, but it was just, there was this hibiscus bush that Mom had for years in the yard, and Dad was digging some of it up, trying to control the root system, and he'd thrown them on the bank. And I didn't know he did this. And what I had done was, it had rained for a couple of weeks straight, and I noticed that hibiscus was laying on the bank. The roots were exposed to the sun, and the leaves were still green. And I noticed there was a bloom that was trying to bloom on one of them while it was just laying there with no soil, but it was soaking wet. So I took that hibiscus and a shovel and took it down the driveway and where my motorcycle path was. I put it in an area where along our driveway there was a ditch that always kept water from a stream, and it was running, and it would cut left and go up to the hard top. Right in that curve, that stream dumped out and kept it really moist. I planted it somewhere where it can get lots of water all the time. And I wasn't even thinking about sun back then, but it was an ideal place for sun. All right, so that hibiscus kept repopping every year. And then time marches on, and then I meet Brittany, and we get married, and we have kids, and then we have our own house. And one day we're visiting home in Kentucky, and I went down with my shovel, and I took half of that hibiscus, put it in a plastic shopping bag, threw it in the back of the Citation, and carried it home, split it in two, and put it here. And then, of course, you carried some to Ohio. So the story of that hibiscus's beginning is goes to about 1922, 23, because at our house my mother had two great huge hibiscus bushes, because our neighbor down over the hill, the Prices, Old Man Price and Old Man and Old Lady Price, had hibiscus bushes. And she had bought them, I think she was born like 1897 or something like that. Died in like the early 70s. But she had bought them, those seeds, out of a solicitation from a postcard that they had received in the mail. So she sent her 10 cents or whatever it was, 5 cents to get the seed, and she grew that on that property down there in Kentucky. And so theoretically we have Miss Price, Old Man, Old Lady Price, she says she seems to, she had mentioned she had them since before World War II. They've been growing there since before the Second War. So we're going on 100 years on this same root system. That's what you've got up there, is something for probably the 1920s till the 2020s, and I do too. I don't think these things ever die. It's kind of like forsythia. You would think this stuff would die off, but does anybody out there, anybody who watches this video, if anybody even watches it, does this system ever die out? Or will it just keep on going? Is it the infinity gene? Alrighty, everybody. Have a good day. See ya.